Thanks, Blake, and what an exciting game indeed as the 20th ranked Iowa women's hoops were able to rally and come up on top against the 15th ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers.
And if beating a higher ranked team wasn't enough, Taylor, this was the first time the Hawkeyes have beaten Nebraska in the last 9 meetings.
Zach Mackey and Taylor Mathis were courtside for this matchup and have the extended coverage.
Let's toss it over to Zach first, who has the highlights.
The number 15th ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers traveled down to take on the 20th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes. It was the Hawkeyes that struggled early, only shooting 25% from the field, but they heated up in the second half, shooting just under 59%, but it took more than 40 minutes to crown a champion in this one.
4,500 people flocked to Carver Hawkeye Arena for women's basketball on a Monday night, and shots would not fall for the Hawks. Everything was going Nebraska's way, and they jumped on an early 8-0 run. The first points of the ball game came from the freshman Whitney Jennings from the free throw line. She hit one of her free throws. Down by 7 going into half, and it looked like it was going to be an uphill battle for the Hawkeyes against a Nebraska team they had never beaten. We jumped down to the end of the second half where Allie Disterhoff right there able to put up a layup and give the Hawks the lead. 60-59, and now Nebraska trying to answer back. They give it into the hands of Rachel Therrott. And Therrott is able to hit the jumper. Then Coach Bluter calls timeout with 4.5 seconds on the clock. Draws up a fantastic play into the hands of Whitney Jennings, going to the hoop, and she's fouled. Going to the free throw line. First free throw wouldn't go. Second one goes, and it ties things up at 61. So on to overtime, and it was all Hawkeyes in overtime. They shot better than 58%, and they rolled to a victory. 78-72 Hawks over the Cornhuskers. For Daily Iowan TV Sports, I'm Zach Mackey.
Helping the Hawkeyes get their comeback win was sophomore Allie Disterhoff. For someone who was fairly quiet in the beginning, came back to score 20 points and 10 rebounds in the second half and overtime.
But Disterhoff wasn't the only one who led the Hawkeyes to overcome a 10-point deficit, as Samantha Logic shot 16 points with 7 assists in the second half and OT as well.
Taylor Mathis has more on the seniors' performance.
Tonight, senior Samantha Logic played a game to remember. Her game-high 22 points helped assist the Hawkeyes in their 78-72 OT victory. And if you were lucky enough to be one of the first 1,000 fans entering Carver Hawkeye Arena, you got your very own special Logic bobblehead. Although Logic's head was bobbing in the stands, her mind was in the game. As the Hawkeyes had a slow start to the first half, only shooting 25%, Logic seemed to be the only one finding the net as she scored 9 of their 28 points. Head coach Lisa Bluter knew what they needed to do to stay in reach during the second half.
Got to really focus on defense, and we tied them on the boards. For us, that's a win. But I mean, really, we was just really focusing on the defense because we couldn't let them score if we weren't scoring, obviously.
Going into the second, down by 7, Logic motivated her team to keep pushing. Only sitting for 4 of the 45-minute contest, Logic had 22 points and 8 assists. And with the history of losing to Nebraska, this win held special significance to Logic.
You don't want to keep losing to a team, so for us seniors, it was pretty big and pretty special. And like Coach Bluter said, it was huge to have the crowd. Had a lot of energy. Even any little run that we had, they're behind us, so we appreciate that.
Logic and the rest of the Hawkeyes are now preparing for another Big Ten matchup this weekend against Northwestern. This is Taylor Mathis for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawks now move to second place in the Big Ten behind Maryland and continue to be undefeated at home.
Some news on the mat as well, as Iowa's redshirt freshman Brandon Sorensen has been named the Big Ten Wrestler of the Week for the second time this season.
This award came after Sorensen's defeat over defending national champion Jason Surtsis of Northwestern. He beat Surtsis 3-2 in double overtime on Friday, handing him his first loss of the season and ending a 40-match win streak.
Sorensen now moved to the number 2 ranking in the 149-pound weight class, but he says all these awards and ranks don't matter until he's at the top.
Yeah, they mean something, but the thing that I'm after right now is the national title. That's really what I want.
Well, we are completely out of time here in the sports studio.
Until next time, Hannah and Blake, back to you at the desk.